Hey, what's going on? This is Ricardo with the Code 7 Podcast Network, and we are about to get started with Open Mic Live. But first, as always, a word from our sponsors.
InDigital is on a mission to improve the 911 industry. Our goal is to create something better to go above and beyond the current standards. Our passion for creating the most advanced, well-designed solutions led to our position as an industry leader in next-gen core services. For the millions of calls processed over our emergency IP networks, to our Text for 911 solution, Texty, to our disaster recovery and backup solution, Mevo, it's easy to see we love what we do. For more information, check us out at www.indigital.net.
Rapid Deploy believes that every public safety agency, regardless of size, should have access to the data they need when it matters most. That's why, since 2016, our mission has been to reduce emergency response times and improve public safety. We are the industry's only integrated emergency response platform. Our web-based cloud platform includes analytics, mapping, dispatch, and mobile apps, purpose-built for 911 in the 21st century. Visit www.rapiddeploy.com to learn how we enable effective, efficient, data-driven emergency response.
If Within the Trenches has ever taught you something, open your eyes to what it is like to be a 911 dispatcher, or has inspired you to become one, then help support us and join our Patreon. Get exclusive bonus content, one-of-a-kind swag, discounts on merchandise, ad-free early access to new episodes, and much more. To join, please visit patreon.com/WTT podcast. And if you're an industry partner, we have something for you as well. And now, for the show.
This is Jordan, and you're listening to the Code 7 Podcast Network.
Warning. This episode contains the 3 A's of podcasting: adult content, adult language, and awesomeness. You've been warned.
Dispatch.
There is no one over here to cook our lunch. We are waiting for our lunch, and there's no one here to cook our lunch.
All right, calm down. Where are you at?
The group home. Now, what are you going to do?
We'll get some help over there for you, okay?
Welcome to Open Mic, where we visit the lighter side of dispatch, because laughing is good medicine. Good evening and welcome to Open Mic Live, and we're back. Took a week off for some Thanksgiving, eating some food and shit, but here we are. We're back. And there are several, I got a bunch of messages from people who were saying, "What happened? Did we miss the show? We saw the advertisement. What happened?" So here we are, and we're about to have some fun. This is going to be good. And I've got a special guest, but first, as always, I got to mention this episode is sponsored by InDigital as well as Rapid Deploy. And thank you to all the patrons. As always, when we start out for Open Mic Live, how are you doing on a scale of 1 to 10? How are you doing? Like I said, it's after the holiday. We're here and we're towards the end of the week. And so on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being shitty, of course, and 10 being badass or awesome, whichever, how are you feeling? I'm feeling good. I'm feeling very good. I would say I'm at a 9, man. I am at a 9. This is going to be excellent. We got people jumping in here as well. So yes, your number, throw out the number, roll call. Where are you at? Where are you listening from? And is this your first night at Open Mic? Because if it is, we're going to get into some shit. People share their funny 911 stories. I read them. Sometimes my mom jumps into the comments. And then I get embarrassed with some of the shit that people put out there. So we'll see. We'll see what happens tonight. Josie is jumping in here at a 5-ish. Let's see if we can get that number up. Let's see if we can get that number up there. But we got everybody else jumping in, throwing their numbers, 7, 7.5, 8. That's pretty good. We got some pretty good numbers going on here. That is excellent. Shout out to the patrons. Also posted episode 355, which was with Josie and Jackie of Wasilla PD out of Alaska. That was such an excellent, epic episode. Now, I have to say, in the beginning, before we started recording, they had said, we can talk and stuff. So this might be about a 2-hour episode. I was like, nah, it's going to be all good. No shit. It ended up being just about 2 hours, and it was awesome. It was amazing. It was so good. So that episode is out now. Episode 356 with Brittany Gooding is going to be going out to patrons here probably the end of tomorrow or early Saturday. And so that's going to be good. Also, how was your holiday? Hopefully it was excellent. And I got more people coming in here. Got my homegirl Diana coming in here saying holla. Holla. If I had to look at it again because I thought, wait, did it say hola? But no, it's holla. So I'm going to go ahead and bring my oh, hold on a minute. I got Brenda up in here saying, well, now I'm at 8, but damn, I was worried. You're like a drug I need. Well, here we are. To fulfill that. So this is going to be good. I'm going to bring my guest up here, and we were having some technical difficulties a little bit, and we got everything going. And let's see, Josie says she needs a massage. All right, we'll have to send you something over there and see if we can work that out. And so here is my guest. I'm gonna bring her up on the screen here. Bam. Yeah.
Sorry for the delay. I'm a little retarded as far as electronics apparently, but we got it worked out. I got a computer going and my phone. So technology's amazing.
Yes.
So, and Josie probably had a 5.5 because she's on console right now. And girl, don't worry, I'll bring the massage gun when I come into work tonight.
There you go. There you go, Josie.
She didn't even need to text me. Usually I get a text message like an hour before I come into work. Hey, bring this. Hey, stop by here. Hey, can you grab what else do you need? So check, massage gun. It's on its way. Don't worry.
Perfect. It all works out. So
yeah,
everyone in the audience, here is my guest, and this is Jackie, and she is
hi everyone.
Yeah. Dispatcher out of Wasilla PD out of Alaska, and also part of the 911 professionals that are featured on ABC's Emergency Call. And we had an excellent episode, and
it was a lot of fun.
It definitely was. Now, so when I put these episodes out, I premiere them live, and there were a lot of people, or a few rather, that were in the comments that were asking questions, and I think you might have answered one in there.
I did. I read it. I'm like, oh, it did. It sounded like they were asking. I'm like, kind of like what's going on right here with the scrolling. I'm sitting here seeing all these messages come up, and I'm like, oh, how disappointed must she be? Like, it took me like 5 hours to answer that. Like, she's sitting there going, well, geez, I didn't answer my question. So yeah, I thought I should just drop her lines. Like, she knows she wasn't ignored. I think it was Kimber who said that. I thought it was interesting though because the comment was like it asked if it was re-recorded because Josie was so calm during that, and I shit you not, she was that calm during that, and I could tell because I know her how amped she was, but like everybody else, she's cool cucumber. I'm like, oh no, I know she's. You can tell because she kind of goes like this with her lips, and you can her lips get real tight. I'm like, just getting such the hour. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. No. You can see it. You can see it in her eyes and everything. But I thought it was, I looking at it afterwards, because when I put those up, I put them up, and sometimes I'll go into the comments and watch it just in case somebody says something. Well, that day I was working on a bunch of other stuff, and it was afterwards that I saw, and I thought, damn, yeah, there's there's no one there to answer any of those questions.
It's all right. We got a question. Sorry, I keep shaking my head, and I got to take my earring out real quick. Apparently, I talk a lot with my face. I'm learning as I'm shaking my head, talking, and my earrings rattling. Who knew?
Yeah, who knew, man? Now, so Josie's at work right now, and you have to go in pretty soon as well, right? In a few hours, like what, 5 hours or something?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. About 5 hours. I just woke up. Sorry. Okay, to be fair, that was kind of the reason. Well, part of the reason that it took so long to get to all the technology stuff because I'm ill prepared and I just always expect to walk into whatever thing. I just push a button and sign into everything. And clearly that's not the case when you're at your own home. Where's my IT guy? Hey.
Yeah, well, and you had your son there too. Your son was there
Yeah.
as your IT guy.
Yeah, he's doing dishes now. Now he's my janitor and my IT.
Oh, yeah,
Hi,
there it
buddy.
is.
We're just talking about how amazing multitasker you are. All the things. He does all the things.
Well, so you both have seen how this show works and everything, and people share their funny stories. So anyone out there right now in the audience, if you have any funny 911 stories, please put those in the comments. We will read over those and we will talk about those as well. Now, for you, when we talked, you're going on about 9 months, right? Now 9 months on training.
Mm-hmm.
So what about you? You got any funny stories?
Well, when I got the message earlier today, like, hey, you want to do this tonight? I'm like, okay. Then it's just going over funny stories. I'm like, oh crap, now I got to think of a funny story. And I had one, and I'm like, dang it. I just drew a blank. It was a really funny one. I was like, okay, that's the one I'm going to start with. So somebody else is going to have to start because now I'm like, I completely drew a blank. I'm all befuddled with this technology thing. So
it is all good.
I will. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say it's all good, man. We got you covered. People are always sharing funny stories. There are sometimes we go for like an hour and a half where there's just stories going, but instead, as we're okay.
Sorry. Go ahead. It's me. I just got it.
Go for it.
Happened yesterday. It happened yesterday. I get in vehicle in the ditch. Lady calls on 911. Well, okay, any injuries? Nothing. Okay, good. You don't need me. Well, no, I need help getting out of the ditch. Okay, perfect. So, I get her to call in. We get her tow truck and everything, and we call to check on her because we hadn't heard. Because she's like 70 miles out of town, and we got like 2 feet of snow last night, and she got to get to the doctor. And so she calls. We're like, okay, did you get out? And oh yeah, I'm good to go. And that's great. Have a nice day. Drive real careful. Right, we're good. Yeah. 30 seconds later, 911 with that information. I did it again. I'm like, what? And like, okay, what's happening? She's like, well, I just got out of the ditch. I'm driving down the road, and she's like, and then this moose came out, and I swerved around it, and now I'm in the ditch again. She'd gone 3 miles, and mind you, like I said, it's 70 miles, and we get there. Okay, she's all pulled out, and so one thing she didn't tell me on the first call was because I'm like, okay, well, if you are in the ditch, make sure that your tailpipe isn't in the snow because if it gets packed in there, you're going to have the exhaust back up in your car. We want you sitting there and basically gassing yourself while you're waiting for your tow to come. She's like, oh yeah, no, we're good. So I start going through that again. Okay, well, we want to make sure that you're safe. She's like, well, I'm going facing this time. It's not a problem. And to be completely honest with you, I only have one leg. So I can't get out. There's 2 feet of snow. And I'm like, that would have been like something to drop in there the first time you called. Like, I'm dealing with, hey, by the way, we have a disabled woman up here with one leg that can't like hop around in 2 feet of snow to help herself. I'm like, okay, ma'am. Yeah, we're going to get help to you as soon as possible. So our officers get up there, and mind you, this is her second time in the ditch in the last, half hour. He goes, we might have to do some FSTs on her. And I just can't. Like, I'm just starting laughing. I'm like, I want to see video of the FSTs on those one-legged women because I'm going to need some videos. So apparently when they got there, she had gotten out of her car and was standing there with one leg leaning against her car waiting for the trooper to get there. I'm like, just the visual. And she was fine. It wasn't like there were injuries. It was just like, she's a older lady with one leg that just kept going in the ditch. And so, and the reason that's just funny. I mean, not funny that she's one-legged. It's just funny that, you know, it all came about. You're like, I just feel like that's something that you should say when you're like, you know,
Right. Yeah.
help. You know, it's like, is it like a party trick? Do we just surprise people when they show up, or you know?
Hi.
Yeah. I mean, I don't need my troopers showing up and being like, "Why didn't you call the medics?"
Can you imagine though if that did? Oh,
I know.
dude, if that were me to mess with somebody, I might have done that.
I know. Yeah, exactly.
It would have definitely made it more memorable.
Oh my gosh, you see what Josie just wrote? She'll nail the one leg stance on the epic.
Josie. Snaps. Oh. Let's see. Okay. So there's a couple calls that are in here. So one is from Dawn. It says, so the other day I get a call from one of our frequent flyers and he's babbling all kinds of mess. So I ask him what I could do for him, and he says, "You can call me daddy, bitch." Oh no.
Oh, Daddy. Oh, Dawn, I'm sorry. Like, what?
I know.
You know, but okay. So we have the one guy that he doesn't call in 911 anymore. Well, he doesn't call in 911 because you know we get their phone, we get the number and their location and everything. But he calls in, and all he does is mess with it. Like you can hear him just whacking away, and you're like, okay. And we figured it out. You know, we're like, all right. He doesn't like it when you talk to him. We're like, participate in it. He gets frustrated and hangs up. So, one of my trainers, we answer the phone, and I'm in training, and I'm like, hello, sir? Hello? And I'm like, seriously? Because I'm like, I hear what's going on. And she's like, what is that? What's this? I'm like, I mean, I just don't want to tell her what's going on at this point. I'm like, I don't want to. So I'm like, okay, you have a great day, sir. And, you know, and I'm not the only one that has encountered this individual. Apparently one time, this is before I was working there, one time he accidentally dialed 911. And so they got his name and number. And when they started calling him by name, we haven't heard from him that much anymore. Apparently the anonymity was maybe what did it for him. I'm not sure. That was funny. Learning that, you know, when you start working there, you're like, oh, by the way, there's this one guy, and you'll know it's him. I'm like, hey.
Oh man. So Kelsey, who's on here, there's another hashtag word for the word cloud, and that's hashtag flapping. I think that's. I think.
Slapping.
Oh, did you say slapping? I thought you said flapping.
Slapping. Yeah, probably slapping. Yeah.
That makes it even more funny. Either one works.
Right? Yeah. I mean, you know, he's not doing anyone any harm, right? There's not an active disturbance, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I can come up with all sorts of inappropriate things to say to him on a recorded line, but that was inappropriate.
That's right. That's why you got to find the line that's not recorded. Yeah.
Right.
So Josie,
call me on that, darn it.
Oh well. Josie says she had one here. She goes, I had a call the other night with the smell of gas. Responders are almost on scene, and he calls back and says, I think it might be my dog farting.
I was there for that, and I do remember hearing that, and he still wanted them to come to check it out, to smell his dog's farts to see if it was actually the dog.
Oh.
And he was pretty convinced that, oh wait, I think it is my dog. But I still want you to come and sniff my dog's fart to make sure. Anyway.
Oh wow. I mean,
yeah.
Did they get out there? I mean, was it?
Josie. She was on EMS, I'm not sure. She'll have to answer that one because I don't remember. He's one of our frequent flyers. We've had many run-ins with that.
Oh man.
With that individual. You know, here's the thing. Usually they're very aggressive, and he is very hostile and hates all of us, and everything that's ever happened to him in his life is our fault. And so, you know, he just needs to vent and you know, abuse us, and that's fine. So this one was actually quite amusing just because it was pleasant because he wasn't like mad at us. He was just like, this dog stinks. It's a nasty dog.
Well, I mean, that's what happens when when you feed your dog Hormel chili and stuff. So
Right? Yeah.
that's what happens.
Mhm.
And Josie says it was
Oh.
the dog. So
But did they go and check to make sure it was the dog? That's what I wonder.
maybe
Oh,
we'll
no.
see if
Bye,
she responds.
Lavelle.
Oh, Lavelle.
That's
Yes. Peace out, Girl Scout.
Yeah.
Godspeed on that one. So let's see. There was another one up here. Oh, I'll read. Lavelle's was the one I was going to read next here. It says funny
I
training
was
story.
reading
Officer said handicap plate and gave it, but my trainee just sat there and wasn't typing. I said, is there a problem? She said, yeah, I don't see the wheelchair handicap button on the keyboard. What?
I was picturing a keyboard with like a giant blue button with a wheelchair on it. Now I'm like, which one is that? It's that one.
Right.
That.
Yeah. The big one that's like shining blue.
I mean, okay, so I'm going to go with the trainee is probably, a younger generation where they don't understand the CD backslash that we still have to deal with, like, here, enter your code here, and,
Right.
the Oregon Trail wagons will come across your screen as you're waiting for your screen to load. Oh, so you just died of diphtheria.
Yeah, right. It's like, oh, you just got dysentery. Like,
Yeah.
oops. Let's see. Josie says, yeah, he asked them to use their sniffer machine. Oh man. Halcyon says, I mean, it'd be nice to have the handicap button.
Right? Yeah. I had somebody, one of my officers had to run they were doing a search warrant. They called me. It's like, hey, can you run this handicap sticker for me? And I'm like, that's not like a common everyday, like, oh yeah, that's like you said, what is it, Alt plus F4? That's good to know because I'm like, where do I enter this at? Like, the Josie came over and helped me where I have to run it.
Well, look here. Leah says the handicap button probably has the best spot on the keyboard.
Probably.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Good
one.
That is excellent. Let's see. We got one here that says currently one of our training supervisors is on vacation. His 2 cohorts printed a picture of his face and created a life-size mannequin of him, complete with headset that's been sitting in his chair. They've been posting it in different positions and tasks and taking photos, put a Thanksgiving meal in front of him, napping, eating lunch with it, etc. They even included him in a Zoom meeting. I think they're going to use pics to make a 2021 calendar of him. Yes.
That's brilliant. I love that. That's a good one.
That is a good one. I like that.
You know what we have to do now?
Find those pictures and post them?
Oh, I had a deputy call out a handicap tag one time, Alpha Bravo Charlie, little man. 1, 2, 3. Where is that button? Little man in a wheelchair.
That's right. Halcyon says, my trainee just said, hey, he said your name right. Yeah, we're friends. He better. Oh, talking about me, that I said her friend right, or her name right. I mean,
Her name?
Yes. Dawn says, weekend at Bernie's Dispatch Edition. Oh, this is good. This is what I love about doing this.
Yeah, it's fun. Any more stories? I like them. I had another one, and I was having a hard time sitting there just recalling them. So we had a really, really high intensity call this last weekend, and so like every call that comes in my head, they're all like the hard one, the intense. I'm like, oh man, that was hard. So even I was actually pretty excited when we're gonna go through the funny ones. I'm like, you know what, that'd be great. Like I need that. I need those just real, lighthearted. Okay, let's find a humor in this today. And so I've been trying to rack my brains, and I know there's a plethora of little ladies that call in and start with, well, this isn't really an emergency, and oh man, you dialed 911. Well, and it turns out they're having a stroke. It amazes me, how they don't want to inconvenience anyone. You're sitting there man, it's okay, we're going to help you, but then they're the best little jokesters the whole time. Well, this whole thing is just absolutely ridiculous, and I don't know why this is happening. you shouldn't have done it. He's like, you're having a stroke. Like, can you say early bird catches the worm? And she's like, well, then this happened, and then, the bird went and caught the snail instead of the worm that one trip. Like, I'm just like, you're good. You nailed it.
Right. Yeah.
I love those little callers. I mean, it's just brighten your day. They balance out the ones that call you to tell you that the officer that you sent last night didn't do its job. And I actually had a call like that this morning, and I'm so confused the whole time. He's like, well, she let them go and do this, and like, so the officer was on scene. Yeah, but she didn't do anything. Okay, are you calling to report something right now? Well, she didn't do this. Okay, well, is it on your property? Well, no, but she should have done this. This guy's been robbing me blind and stealing this. I'm like, oh, okay, so you know who it is. No, are you reporting a robbery or a theft? Well, no. What did he steal from me? Well, he's been stealing from me for months. Did you report those? Well, no, I just know this is, you know who it is. Well, no, but I know where he lives. I'm like, so you're mad because you didn't arrest somebody that you've never reported for theft, but you know who it is, and now he left his car because he ran into the ditch last night down the road, and now his car is sitting there, but he's been stealing from you, and now she should arrest him because he, spun out of control and got a ride home, responsibly. But arrest him now because I think that he might have taken my pogo stick off the side of my garage that's been there for 30 years. It's gone now. He took it. You're like, and and then you try to, I try to, humor them. Okay, yes, sir, I understand your frustration. What can I do to help you here? And then he goes into how the mayor is stealing all the money from the town and how they're building this and she won't even take care of the roads. And I'm like, oh, this went to another level. I don't even know. Okay. You have a great day, sir.
Right.
This is what happens when you're nice and you try to help.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes people call in and they go to town because they've got your ear, and now they're gonna continue telling you what they want to say. And I'm sure everybody in the audience has done the same thing. Oh man. So, yeah, those are some of the things that yeah, sometimes I kind of miss those people that would call in, especially if it was like, kind of like how you were saying, if it was after a hard call, then something like that comes in, it kind of breaks it up a little bit, and it makes it funny. Now, I want to share this. I'm going to go with this one first. So, for those who are watching right now, this is I'm also going to make sure to put this on here because. All right, here we go. All right, so I'm going to play a clip really quick. And let's see. I'll make sure it's the right one. Oh, wrong one. Hold on a minute. Let me remove that one. It's a different one here. I'll start with this one first. All right, here we go. I'm going to break this down.
911, what's the address of the emergency?
Old Ridge Trail. Okay, what's going on? There's a grizzly bear that has been stalking us.
There's a grizzly bear?
Yeah.
Did the bear actually attack you or come towards you?
He charged us twice. We bear sprayed in front of it, and the bear ran away, and then it came back charged. Sprayed it again, made very loud noises. The bear is coming back to you? We don't know yet. How old are you? 19 years old. I was so scared.
How big was it?
12 feet tall.
12 feet?
I think it's the biggest thing I've ever seen. I'm freaking terrified right now. Do you have any more bear spray, or did you deploy it all? I believe I deployed it all. Do you have any weapons on you, any guns? No, ma'am. Do you have any flares or anything? No.
For a brown bear, you want to play dead, and a black bear, you want to fight back. Did I lose you?
bear tomorrow.
What was that? What did I just hear?
Oh, I just stepped on the dog.
Oh, okay. You just stepped on your dog. Okay. Good. Are you able to get back to your vehicle?
No, ma'am. The bear's between us and there. I'm working on getting the ranger up there to find you, okay? Oh, thank you so much. We currently have a hiker that was being stalked by a bear and had to deploy bear spray. There's 2 people and 2 dogs in the group. The bear has charged them now twice.
10-4. It's possible that it's not killed.
Oh, no. I'm really scared the bear's gonna come back.
Being scared is completely natural. Don't you worry about it. I'm right here with you, okay?
Blame them. I wouldn't want to be chased by a bear either. Running uphill, no less.
Are you still walking that trail?
We're still heading up.
All right.
We do have a trooper on his way too, okay? They're looking for you guys.
Get there as fast as possible. Elena is trying to head back to the trail.
Yeah, Mark, can you ask them if they passed 1 or 2 benches?
Have you passed the first or second bench?
Past the second.
Okay, you're past the second.
We're at the top.
You're at the top?
The very top.
Looks like I have 2 troopers headed that way.
No sign of the bear yet. No sign of the hikers.
So I'm going to stay on the line with you, okay?
Past the second bench. I look towards the peak.
Oh, I just don't know what to do. Like, somebody's coming up. Like, they're going to find us. No, I'm so scared.
We've made contact.
In contact with hikers. Everyone 1060. Woohoo!
They made it
They made it. No bear attacks today.
today.
So that, for everyone watching and everything, that was from ABC's Emergency Call. We got the YouTube link down there. You can go to their page and check it out. Make sure to check out the show. They've got 5 brand new episodes that are coming back 2021. I'm not sure on the day or the air date, rather. The executive producer had reached out and let me know that that was going to be happening. So and I got permission to say that as well. So
Okay, hey, you bring up stuff before me. I know my grandma, I on a weekly basis. When is your show gonna be on again? I'm like, Grandma, I don't know. I will let you know as soon as I know. But oh, I'm getting a phone call from the school saying that my kid missed school today. Exactly, James. Look at James. He's like, when? I don't know. They don't tell me these things. I'm not privy to.
yeah.
They just use my face on the show. I know nothing. I know nothing.
Well, so let's. I want to go back into the comments here really quick.
This
Hello,
is my daughter.
Hello, daughter.
This is Momo. She just got done with basketball practice.
Oh, excellent.
Okay, cool. Hold on.
So we've got some people in the audience here saying, you know, it's so pretty there, and then Kelsey jumps in and says, "Very pretty, but also bears."
Yeah. I know when Camilla said, curious if there were locals or tourists, because tourists plus what I believe they were locals. I think they were what I and that's my husband. Everybody's coming home. From what I understand is you know, they were locals, but they were from Anchorage. So I don't know how local they were or how long they've been in the area. But they had bear spray, so you know, they went to one thrift store and talked to somebody, I guess, about bears. But like I said, there's a sign at the base of that hiking trail that says what I said on the show: if it's black, fight back. If it's bear, no. If it's if it's brown, lay down. If it's black, fight back.
Yeah.
So and the sign is there because you know they want you. If nothing else, if you're going out for John Stroke, yeah. My husband just showed us it's white good night. I've never seen that sign, but Wilson used it, so. But so yeah, they didn't have firearms, which is always surprising to me. me when you hear about people that are going up hiking, like legitimately. Hey, we're gonna go for a hike. Especially if you're like experienced hikers. I think one thing they don't really think about is, they're like, okay, I have all my survival gear in case I get lost, and I have, my thermal blanket, and I have food, and there's water, and I have, my sat phone and all this stuff, and they don't think, there might be, I'm not top of the food chain up there, so, everybody's raised differently. When my kids growing up, when they walk out to the stop sign, they know they need to find a tree if they see a moose, because moose can't turn real sharp. So if they can run around a tree to stay away from moose, then that's one little thing, little gem of knowledge that all of my children know. And we moved down to Oregon for a few years ago, and we don't have moose down there. And my kids were explaining this to some of their newfound friends down there, and they're like, "What are you talking about?" Common knowledge, isn't it? You find a tree when you see a moose. Like, what? I don't know what's so hard to understand about it.
I didn't know that shit. So that's pretty awesome. Now, if I ever go out there or in an area where there might be a moose, I know I can haul ass around a tree and bob and weave.
Yeah, exactly. My kids got stuck up in a treehouse for like 4 hours one time because they came out on the deck of the treehouse and they looked across the yard and there was a moose and a baby moose, and they're lying to the house right between there, and they're like, "Mom!" I'm like, sorry, get comfy. It's imagination playtime. You're playing house for a little longer.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, that kind of like jogged my memory into my funny 911 that I had this morning. I have one. Yeah. Josie said I'm talking a lot again. I saw that in there somewhere. So this guy, we cover a huge area in Alaska. So, we have guys that call in, they're 100 miles away in the middle of nowhere. Well, a guy calls in and he says, there's a moose in my yard. And usually when you get these calls, okay, it's got a broken leg and, something's wrong with the moose. And I'm like, oh, okay. And he's like, well, it's bedded down in front of my porta potty or my outhouse, and all I picture is like this moose just hanging out, like, one of those little drawing signs on the bathrooms and porta potties with like, there's a moose laying in front of, and I'm like, okay, well, he won't move. Is he being aggressive? Well, no, but he won't move and I need to use the porta. And I'm like, you live 100 miles out in the middle of nowhere. You want the troopers to come up to move the moose because he's basically like your teenage brother that won't let you into the bathroom. I'm like, dude, you're going to grab a bucket at this point. I mean, you chose to live 100 miles off the grid. I really find a hard time believing that you have a problem pooping in a bucket at this point.
Right.
I mean,
yeah, exactly.
And he was 100% dead serious. He wanted the troopers to come out and handle this.
What the heck?
Yeah. How do you live off the grid in Alaska and not be able to handle it? You have a pot. You have a spoon. Bang it together.
Right. Yeah. Try to scare it off or something, or just go ahead and drop some heat somewhere else, man. You don't need to use the bathroom.
Exactly. I'm like, well, you don't need to worry about that. He's better down over there. He's not going to bother you. You're going to be private. Don't worry. Right. Shy, what's happening right now?
Or just yell out to him like, hey, fella, is it my turn? Like I kind of got to go. Can you move on?
I mean, really, theoretically, he could probably drop trout right there off of his porch, and he was probably like, what the heck's happening right now? This man's crazy. I'm out. They're all alone. You don't like him. Like, you try to think of all these like options. Like, how do you get the moose to move? Like, I feel like you live in the middle of nowhere where you see more moose than me. I feel like you should be telling me how to deal with the moose. But,
right. Yeah.
Everybody's emergency in the moment is their emergency, and I'm not going to try to judge like where it's coming from.
Right.
That's a lie. That's 100% a lie. I judge them all. I don't mean to. It's like unintentional. Like, are you kidding me right now?
Well, so with that call there, it's only like 4 minutes long. But how long did it actually last?
That was about a 45-minute call.
45?
Yeah. It was about 45 minutes, and the majority of it, I was joking with Josie that like they made me seem like really maternal and it's gonna be okay, sweetheart. But really, like the whole time I felt like I was arguing with them because they wouldn't get back on the trail. So the bear comes out and they like take off into the bear's home. I'm like, wait, get back on the trail. Like, what's
Right.
happening right now? And she's like, well, we're going to just go keep hiking up. And I'm like, get on the trail. Like, go back and find the trail. One, because they're not familiar with the area and all they're doing is looking up. Well, there's a lot of mountains in Alaska and in this particular area. Like, I'm like, are you looking at the right mountain? Like, you don't know where, well, we think it's over here. I'm like, oh my gosh, you're basically just like walking through the bear's brush, seasoning yourself. Like, what? Like, oh, here's a little rosemary stuck in my pocket. Ooh, this will be real scrumptious over here. A little rub this on my elbow. I mean, like, get back on the trail, girl.
Seasoning yourself.
I can be, make light of it now because, I mean, obviously it didn't have a tragic outcome, but at the same time during
Right.
it, it's like so frustrating because, you're not there with them. And I have a ton of kids and I have children her age and I'm like, listen to your mother. Why don't you please get back on the trail?
Oh man, yeah, I do like at the end that after you get the outcome and everything else, everyone is just woohoo, like yeah.
Yeah, I felt like I was an absolute doofus when I'm like, oh, I said woohoo. Like, what? Okay. I mean, I do stuff like that, so I get it, but I never have to like watch myself do it. So like seeing that, I'm like, I just see my kids going, really, Mom?
Oh, that's funny.
And then I don't know if I don't think they showed it in the shop there where right after it I said, well, they learned a life lesson. They'll go out and get a firearm. And she's over there going, did they? I mean,
Yeah, but did they learn?
yeah. Maybe it would have like got a little, even maybe just a little claw mark in them or something to be a little more solid lesson.
I mean, seasoned. That was
Right?
funny.
Exactly.
Yes.
I mean, really, you meet some people that deploy the OC and you essentially just walk into it and you just peppered. You're now peppered. The bear's got his snacks. It's like peppered beef jerky.
God. That is funny.
Mm-hmm.
There's
Yeah.
there's one that came in here that says, this is from Leah. She says, we have black bears in northern Michigan and currently have one that likes a local winery, grocery store, and Sam's Club. It's almost like Mama Bear puts the cubs to bed, grabs some wine, gets the essentials at the grocery store, and then goes clubbing at Sam's. Nice little mom's night out.
That's good stuff. I
like that.
Okay, as you read that, the winery, like as soon as you said that it hangs out over there, my first thought was, ooh, it's like pre-marinated. Like it's very diet. It's marinating it for consumption.
That's right.
That's looking really.
So people were asking up here. Someone had said, did she say go eat? What's for dinner? And did she make enough for the whole class? Another person says, I'll take a plate, and then hashtag bring snacks. Oh, this is excellent. Oh, my mom is on here too. My mom just jumped into the stream. Hello, Mom. Hello.
Which one's your mom? Is it?
My mom is Gloria Jimenez.
Hi, Gloria.
Yeah.
I saw you on, which one was it? I don't know. I was watching you and your mom. I'm trying to think which one it was.
Was it?
It was probably when I first found out about Within the Trenches, right after the show came out. Because honestly, with the show, like I said, I literally found out that ABC was thinking about doing a show my first week of orientation, and then right before I went to dispatching training, they came in 3 days before they were going to start filming and said, "Hey, by the way, we would like you to sign paperwork so you can be in the show too." I'm like, okay. So I hadn't even been released for dispatching yet. So all of these dispatching Facebook groups and Within the Trenches and all the NINA different organizations and stuff, I had no idea of any of it. I had no idea of this entire whole community of dispatchers and first responders and stuff that was out there. It's like I just hello.
No, I'm here.
Okay, and I'm like, oh, I have to screen
No. We're here. Your screen froze, but your voice is still here, so that's fine.
Oh,
and you're not making a funny face in the frozen screen, so that's okay.
You love it when you're making that, really inappropriate face, but you're like, oh, that's what I look like.
Nope, it's all good. Oh, and
okay.
There you are. Now you're back. Now the screen is back.
Okay.
Yeah, man, this is a big community and everything where we've got all of this, and then there's a lot of people who come on, and we're just sharing stories, and when there's a lot of shit going on in the world, we take this time to come together and share the funny stuff, the lighter side of dispatch. So it's always fun.
Well, you know what's fun? What I really enjoy is that there's a whole community of people that understand your humor. Where some of these stories that we would tell, like the one-legged lady for my 911 this morning. There's people that would be like, "Oh, how dare you?" or be offended that I would even think that was humorous. But I'm like, it's a one-legged lady. Like, come on. So I feel like I'm with people to get my humor, that I don't have to sit there and try to explain when they're looking at me like I'm the worst human being in the world. I'm like, what did you hear? Like,
right. Yeah. And
like the shame afterwards, like,
right. Like, oh shit.
It's
just
totally
kicking
wasted on
dirt.
them.
Don says, yeah, regular people don't find our humor funny.
True.
Yeah.
I know. My husband sometimes, even my husband kind of looks at me like, what? And I'm like, Josie, I get on the phone. Josie, guess what? I gotta tell you this. I know she's gonna appreciate what I'm about to say.
There you go. Yeah. And yeah, that's what's good about this, is that we all understand. So there's let's see, there's a couple stories here. One says, for a while I worked for 2 neighboring agencies. At the first agency, we had a resident who thinks he's a pilot some days, a lawyer other days, and sometimes G.I. Joe. He called all the time, usually talked to him once a shift. Well, he recently moved to agency 2's jurisdiction and called one night. After a 5-minute conversation, he says, "Hey, wait, aren't you supposed to be at agency 1? He recognized my voice. "No, sir, I work here now." He said, "Crap, I thought I'd gotten rid of you." And it says, "You're doing a fine," and then there's like a ... So Melissa, if you can just copy and paste the last part of it, unless that's the end, but copy and paste the last part of it. Sometimes through this platform, it cuts off if it's a longer story. So then let's see. Kevin here says, we had an overnight freeze, lots of black ice and plenty of vehicles and ditches. One of several units waiting for a tow truck keys up. 15 boy 1 tow is on scene and sliding on by. And now he's in the ditch too.
I saw a video on Facebook like that, where like it slid through, and then like it was just a camera watching the screen, the street, and everybody. Then the tow truck with the standard comes and it slides, and everybody too. Dang, engineers maybe want to look at that hill.
Yeah, man. So there was one. Oh, wait, really quick here. Melissa says, so this is the end of the story. You're doing a fine job. Good night, and hung up the phone. Oh, that is funny. There was a time. This is about. This is years ago. I don't even remember what year it was now, but I was in dispatch, and there was blizzard-like conditions. And I was going into work early. I'm in this little 4-door Kia, and the tires were basically bald, and my ass is driving to dispatch in this weather. And it was enough to where I had to put the window down to like kind of try to look a little bit. And also, which was stupid, because if a car would have come, man, I would have been gone. But the wipers froze. So I had to reach out, because it like I had to reach out and pull on it.
Driving, so the first time to stop, when lights do it, like this, you're like, oh, I can do this. We got this.
Yeah, exactly, man. I had a destination. I have a job. I had to get there, and so it's frozen. There's ice on it. So as it's coming up, I grab onto it and drop it so that it'll like shatter, so that the ice comes off. And I notice that what looked like a big truck that was in front of me is no longer, like, I can't see it anymore. And I thought, oh shit, what happened? Well, then I slow down, and as I continue going, and I just happened to look to the right, and what was in front of me was a snow plow, and it's in the ditch on its side, and the driver is standing on top on the phone. And I remember thinking, if he can't get through here, someone who's supposed to be plowing and putting salt on the road and everything. How the hell am I going to get through here with bald ass tires? I made it. By the grace of the good Lord, I made it. Yeah,
like
I
all
still
the
did it.
Texas are like, I probably shouldn't be doing this, but let's just check it out. I
Yes.
mean, maybe he is, balance was off or something. I have this little car. We're gonna try the different variables here.
And I made it. I made it. I was
Yeah.
scared shitless, but I made it. So I have one last video that I want to play, and then so that we can talk through as well. And this is another clip, and we've got about 10 minutes before we're on the hour here. So here we go.
911, what's the address of the emergency?
We're going to drive. My husband got into a fight with our neighbor, and he's drunk.
Can you tell me exactly what happened?
He and my neighbor got into a fight, and now he's trying to go over it, and he's fighting both me and his mom.
The calls we get in Alaska are so incredibly unique. And it has to do with the diversity of people that are here. It's like a perfect storm almost, in that you never know what you're going to hear on the other end of the line.
Okay, do you know what the altercation was about between the two?
I have no idea. All I know is that they were drunk. I don't want him to go to jail.
No, you did the right thing.
Are they able to separate?
Are you able to separate?
Stop it. Well, the neighbor, they're done.
Okay, but what's happening right now?
He's trying to fight the mom and her.
My mother-in-law is trying to stop him from going over there because he keeps saying he's going to hurt him. No.
Okay, I just want to make sure that everyone in that house is going to be safe. I hear a lot of disturbance back there.
No. I don't think he's going to hurt us.
Check weapons.
Does he have any weapons?
No, I moved alone.
Okay, what is he saying in the background?
They're not gonna shoot you. He's trying to convince his mom that he needs to let them go because if she doesn't, the troopers are going to shoot him when they get to the front door.
Okay.
He's saying troopers are going to shoot him.
Is there any way that your mom can separate from him?
It's his mom, not mine. No, I'm not going to back off. No, you're going to stay right there. And now he's laying down on the bedroom floor.
Is that your mother screaming?
That's my mother-in-law.
Why is she screaming?
Because she's got him in a chokehold.
Okay, we really need to get those two separated. I can hear her screaming, "Don't hurt me."
Oh man, I'm watching him, and he just
He just went outside?
No,
What?
she just spanked him.
The mother just spanked him?
Okay. Oh man.
Yeah.
So to answer Dawn really quick, yes, that was Jackie's trainer. I had to ask as well, because for whatever reason my dumbass thought, being in dispatch as well, there were times where we would take calls, and I remember doing it myself. I would go over to whoever was taking the call to help out if they needed anything. It wasn't until your trainer is saying stuff and you're repeating it, I'm like, oh, she's in training.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, we don't usually stack too long dispatch, but yeah, and yeah. So my whole training was recorded too, so no pressure.
Yeah.
So on that call, it was so confusing because the wife would sound frantic, and then she would start giggling because I could feel for her because I was kind of doing the same thing. I'm like, what the heck is going on? And then mom's got her husband in a choke. Her husband. We're not talking teenage kids here. This is an almost 40-year-old man, and mom's got him in a chokehold. And then his pants were falling down, I guess, and she was trying to pull them back up, and then she ends up spanking him. I'm like, I don't even know what's happening right now. I'm like, and then you hear, ow, and then the wife's like, I don't know, I think we're all fine. And I'm like, it doesn't sound fine. And then she throws in there, oh yeah, mom's got a heart condition. I'm like, well, this is definitely helping. So yeah, it was a hot mess. And then when the troopers finally got there, the guy ran outside and curled up in a ball and passed out in the yard. when they went and got him. Like, they woke the neighbors up to see what the disturbance is about. And he ended up hugging it out and, like, crying, like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm like, I don't even...
Wow.
Like, what's happening right now? So, you know, some calls when they come in and they, like, sound like they're, okay, this is it. This is the one. And then you're just like, what? I don't... Like, it's almost like this letdown, but at the same time, you need that comic relief. Like, are you kidding me? This is what humanity has to offer me today. I love it.
Yeah, man. So when I remember watching this episode, and Leah and I were on Messenger talking back and forth because we were taking notes because we were going to do the recap, and I had kind of missed towards the end what exactly was happening. All I saw was the look on your face, and I heard the screaming, and I thought, okay, I think I missed something here. And so I had asked her, and I said, what happened to why was that person screaming? Like, what happened at the end there? Is it, did they really say something about spanking? Like, what was going on? And then she told me, I was like, no way. But also in the beginning that the mom had the son in a chokehold.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty badass.
Yeah. Well, and Josie, like, she's sitting there just listening. So I'm at the troopers. And then EMS is, like, facing it. So Josie's dispatching the EMS. And she just hears, you know, mom's got him in a chokehold. And I just see Josie's face just pop out like this. I want to meet this guy. Like, she's just like, hey, okay, I can get behind mama's actions here. Like, woo.
Oh, man.
I did it again. I do say woo a lot.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, so that you've got them arguing and everything else, and yeah, I mean, I've taken one of those calls as well where it starts out where you're like, oh shit, like something crazy is going on here, and then it turns out to be something completely different. And for yours, it ended up being mom just had enough, and she jumped in, put that mofo in a headlock, and then also spanked him. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah, and meanwhile, I think the children were probably sleeping in the bedroom and just like, okay, I mean.
Wow.
Oh, Lavelle's back. How'd the robbery go too?
Oh yeah, Lavelle. Everything all right? Everything good? Yeah, I see that she's back as well. And Kelsey says a spanking. Are we back to the daddy call? Oh man.
Nice.
That is crazy stuff right there. But that one, I wanted to make sure to play it because it's the screaming at the very end that starts to create a picture in my head, at least, knowing that mom was spanking him. And how hard is she spanking him? And is it with her hand, a wooden spoon, a belt? Like what?
Well, I mean, and the screaming, and you start forming this picture, and all the guy is trying to do is get away from these two women that are trying to, like, you know, stop him. And I mean, I get it. They're worried he's going to go to the neighbor's house, but I mean, he can't even walk. And they're like, no. I'm like, maybe just let him sleep it off. I mean, let's just, like, try this fun experiment. Just leave him alone. Throwing that out there. Maybe he'll just pass out. Oh, guess what? He did. He went out in the yard with one shoe and passed out, curled in a ball.
Oh, that one was the one about the shoe, right? If he had shoes to leave or whichever that you had asked.
Yeah. Josie kind of gave me a hard time. She's like, "Why did you ask if he had shoes on?" She's like, "That's not a standard question." I'm like, well, and in my mind, I'm just like, well, if he's got shoes on, or he like takes the time to put shoes on, then he has an intention of going somewhere. If he just runs out there with no shoes on, then there's no plan at all. He's just like fleeing, essentially.
Right.
And it was funny. I was surprised when she actually answered me, well, he had one shoe on. I'm like, huh. So, yeah, he wasn't going to climb a fence with one shoe. So.
Nope. They just found him there. So there you go.
Yeah.
Lavelle says, think it was an inside job. Oh. Interesting.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, we'll leave it at that.
Right, yeah.
Happy holidays. Yeah. Well,
I don't have a job anymore, but I got all this new shit.
I want to thank you so much for being on. I'm glad we were able to get this to work out and have you on and tell some funny shit. and talk about these calls and stuff. Now we have a little closure ourselves.
Yeah, right. Yeah, everybody. Yeah.
Oh man, that is.
Oh,
You left
yeah.
hanger and flip
Hanger.
flop.
Oh, okay. I've heard about those, Mom. I don't want to be part of those.
Yeah, hanger.
The
Flip
hangers.
flop.
I can get behind the flip flop, but the hanger. I'm good.
Well, and Kelsey says chancla, and that's Mexican style for the that.
For
Yeah,
what?
a chancla. It's it's a shoe or flip flop. They get
Oh,
it and
okay.
just whip it at you.
Oh, thanks, Don. I just read Don's comment.
Let's see.
I appreciate that. To be fair, I had Josie that I couldn't let down, so I felt like there was a little bit more at stake of me screwing up. In fact, before they started filming, Josie's like, "You do realize some people can't tell us apart, so don't screw up." Oh, God. And I had amazing trainers. I had absolutely amazing trainers. Kristen was my trainer during the filming, and she was absolutely phenomenal in, letting me take those calls where, especially when the phone rings and it's an amped up, somebody screaming. I know that some trainers just kind of jump in there like, nope, I can't trust that she's going to be able to handle this. So Kristen was just amazing. All of my trainers were absolutely phenomenal in, just that trust of, okay, we're going to see how she does. We're going to give her this chance. And they were all really good about, if I looked at them and said, nope, I don't need this chance, you go ahead. They didn't always save me, but it didn't happen too often. But, they were really good about, you can do this. You can do this. Don't worry about this. You can do this. And just having that quiet confidence to feel like, okay, I can do this. No, I can totally do this. So it was, I give 100% of the credit to my trainers and my sister.
Well, you did an excellent job because, like I said,
Oh, thank you.
I thought somebody was just there chilling with you.
Well, and it's really easy to, do that well when somebody's literally feeding you the question. Okay, ask that weapon. Okay, and I'm like, okay, yeah, all right. So like that. Even now, when I answer a phone, I still hear her voice in my head. Okay, ask about this. Okay, ask about this. Okay, what about this? I'm like, okay. So yeah, it's very much a good representation of what training was, and
that's awesome.
How it still sticks with me.
What's kind of funny is they probably see you answering her in your head and saying, okay, and they're like, who is she talking to other than the caller there too?
Right.
Oh man,
right.
That is funny.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Well, again, thank you so much for being on, for the job that you do.
Thanks for inviting me.
Yes, of course.
It was a pleasant surprise. I woke up. I worked this morning, short shift, and then got off, and I moved back to work tonight. But I was just like, hanging out. Went to the thrift store. I had to get a couple stuff for homemade Christmas items. So I had to go get a couple things for the kids' projects for their siblings. And then Josie just texted me, "Hey, do you want to do this?" And I'm like, "What? What's happening?" I mean, sure, why not? I'm always up for whatever.
Yes.
So, I appreciate the invite. It's good work.
Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun, and a big shout out to everyone over there, your entire crew. You guys do an excellent job. So that is awesome.
Yeah.
And a shout out to your sister as well, who is still there, right? She's still working right now.
Did you notice when I was mentioning at the beginning that she usually will send me a list? Did you see what my list is tonight? I have the massage gun, and I have to stop by the store to get latte flavors.
That's funny. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Now you know what you're bringing into, and so do we. So
yeah.
awesome.
Okay. It's on my shopping list. Yeah.
There you go.
So anybody have some really good latte flavors?
Yeah, put them in the comments then.
Yeah, we got a new espresso machine at work, and one of like our boss didn't like give us one of the people from work brought it in, and I used to manage a espresso shop. So I'm like, hey, I know how to make lattes. So now I'm the latte lady, which is great. I really enjoy doing it. Hey, cool. What do you guys want?
I was gonna say you walked into that one.
I know. That's great. What can I get you?
That's right. You'll have to hook us up as well.
Yeah.
Have an excellent shift tonight.
I will. Yeah. Going into the long weekend, so
Oh man.
Always nice to start it off when I get to, work some overtime with Josie before I go into like the 16-hour days. So I'm excited to start seeing the sea start.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Have an excellent
Thank you so
one.
much.
And
Good
everyone
talking to everybody.
who is on here, if you have any comments, questions, or you want to be a guest on the show, you can email us, and that'll be wttpodcast@gmail.com. There it is. I was like, what is my email here? Jeez. wttpodcast@gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter. That is @91podcast. You can like us on Facebook. That is facebook.com/Within the Trenches Podcast. If you're looking for any bonus stuff that we're doing, patreon.com/WTT Podcast. And a shout out to Josie and Jonathan as they are new patrons. Josie being a VIP. I will get your t-shirt out to you here within the week. So thank you very, very much. And there's a lot more coming, so much more with the podcast for the flagship show, this one, Open Mic Live, and the Dispatchers Roundtable, and something new coming in Discord. I'll be posting more about that soon. Again, thank you all very much. This episode has been sponsored by InDigital as well as Rapid Deploy, and we'll see you soon. I will talk to you all soon. Have a good one, everyone.